Okay, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Pitchero. Hope you're all well on this Thursday evening. My name's Dan Ingham. I'm the Senior Account Manager, and I'll be taking you through the webinar, the demonstration. I'll be ably assisted by my colleague, Will Dunkley.
Evening, guys.
As I say, thank you for joining us this evening. It's going to be a nice relax. We're going to go through a couple of slides, explain what we're going to talk about to go through it. We're then going to go into a live demonstration and show you, as I say, a couple of things on the side. I'm going to go into the Manager app as well. I'm also going to give you a little bit of a bonus this evening as well, because I'm going to go into the Club app as well, because this is the sort of questions that you'll be getting asked as well from obviously your members and parents and things like that. So as I say, you've all confirmed you can hear me and see the screen. That's fantastic. Now, at any point, if you've got a question going through the evening, Will, who you just heard from there, will be answering questions live. So as I say, we'll answer the questions for you. So please go into the Q&A, type your questions, will answer it. If it's a more in-depth question that we'll think of it beneficial to hear, we'll wait till the end and we'll go through it. And again, as I say, if we are going to get to that, will explain obviously on there as well that we are going to get to that during the demonstration. Okay, so without further ado, as I say, let's start and go through the training for you as well this evening. First thing I want to say as well, that Pitchero's open again. It's all been a little bit of a tough last 2 years for everybody, but hopefully we're out of the worst of it now. As I say, we can do that. So as I say, don't forget, we're always here at Pitchero. You can contact us at support@pitchero.com. You can contact your account manager if you have one as well. Again, or you can go onto pitchero.com and you can book demos and webinars for yourself as well, or it may be a training session you need for your club. Okay, so without further ado, as I say, let's get started. So what's it all about using the Manager app? It's about making your life easier. You know, okay, myself and Will do this for a job, so obviously we get to do this all the time. But for you people out there, it's something that you do, which is, it's your hobby. It's something because you love the sport, you love the club. It's something, as I say, you will be doing as well. So as I say, we want to make your life as easy as we can and really get to that as well. So what we're going to discuss this evening, okay, oh, sorry, beg your pardon, I've gone back a page too much there. So what we're going to discuss this evening, we're going to talk about roles and permissions, okay? We're going to talk about the Manager app and we're going to show you about all the key features as well. We're going to do a live demonstration of the Manager app. As I say, we're going to give you a bit of a bonus as well. We're going to go into it as well. And so you'll be able to see the Club app as well. And as I say, these Q&As, again, all the way through this demonstration as well. Okay, so roles and permissions. What do you need to have the Manager app? First of all, you need to have, or you need to be, if you're a coach or a manager, you need to have team admin access, okay? If you're a webmaster, so that's the people like treasurers, people that do all the membership, things like that, again, you can access. So team admin or webmaster roles, and you can access the Manager app. So again, it's the exact same login that you'd log into the Club app, but again, it gives you all those permissions and things as well. If you haven't got those, speak to a webmaster at your club to update your roles, or you can apply for a new role again through the Pitchero account. So again, that's in the Club app. You can apply for that new role as well. Okay. Team admins can log into the Manager app, and as I say, use a Manager app with their team on the go. So again, as you're in the changing rooms, for instance, or you sat at home, you're on the train coming home, again, this is the idea of using the Manager app to make life a lot easier for you. Again, so you don't have to log on to a laptop and things like that, or a computer. Again, the computers still exist. I think everybody I know has now got laptops. But again, so you don't have to log on to them. You can keep going with that as well. The Pitchero Manager app, it's available for free on iOS and Android. So just go in, as I say, into the shop there and obviously type in Pitchero Manager. It will come up and just download it. And as I mentioned before, it's the exact same login that you used previously, that you can go in for the Club app as well and get into there. Key features. Okay, so we're going to talk about a couple of key features. The match center. You can add fixtures, edit fixture info, view results, and more. You can do player availability and team selection. You can prompt players for availability as well. So again, if it's a couple of days before the game and you've still not got enough players that have set their availability, you can prompt them and ask them to do that again. You can manage training and player attendance, which we'll see when we go into there. So again, I know me as an ex-first team coach is nothing worse than me planning a session for 20, 30 people and only 10 turn up. It means I've got to rejig the session again and obviously see what we can do. Or if you know you've got good numbers coming for whatever reason, again, you might need to get an extra coaching and things like that. Okay. So let's just get that there. Okay. So again, moving on. Automated. So this is a big one that a lot of people don't know. So what you can do, again, you can do social media updates through this as well. So we'll show you in the Manager app today. So what you can do, for instance, if there's something's happened within the game, like a match event's happened, so a red card or a yellow card, or if there's been a penalty scored or things like that, what you can do, you can go in, update the match event, and it then would say to you, do you want to actually send this through to your social media? So again, that's your Facebook and your Twitter. So again, all those people that can't be at the game, they can see all the updates again for the game through the social media channels as well. So as you can see there on the picture, you can see free kick from deep, chested down and it's slammed into the back of the net again. So these are the sort of things that you can go through onto your Twitter and to your Facebook. The other key feature as well, you can collect match fees. So again, you can prompt the players for specific match fees, starters, subs, student, things like that, and all the tracking features as well. But again, all this can be done, as I say, on the Manager app for you as well. Right, so without further ado, let's jump in and let's start going through, as I say, some of this. The first thing really I want to talk about, for this to work perfectly, really, it's all to do with getting players and parents to register within your system. Now, the reason I'm talking about this is because once they've registered within your system, so it may be a parent-child account. So for instance, anybody 14 and below is not allowed a registered account with a sports club. It has to be a parent-child account. Sole reason, again, it's safeguarding. But again, if anybody tries to send any messages out, so parent availability requests, payment requests, things like that, it bypasses and it goes straight through to the parents as well. So again, that helps as well. But again, you can set all their availability as well, which would come through to the club app. So it's really, really keen, as I say, that they do register. What they can do as well, they can put you, or what you can do as well, should I say, you can put your registration form online. So again, we're going to use this training site, for instance. And if I go down here into membership and I go into fields, now the ones in black that you see on the screen are the ones that Pitchero and the club ask when they first sign up. The ones in blue underneath are what you can ask as a club. So you can ask up to 60 individual questions. Now, the reason I'm showing you this, where people register, all the information that's filled out, for instance, here, so emergency contact, emergency name, dietary requirements, anything else like that, can be seen on the Manager app. Playing sport on a Sunday morning, for instance, with the juniors, little Johnny gets a knock on the knee and the ambulance has to be called. You can go into your Manager app, you can click on that team, click on that player, and all the information that you can see, again, in there is there for that child as well. So you can see, there you go, broke that leg at school 2 years ago, he's allergic to penicillin and he's got asthma, and there we go, his emergency contact name and number, it's his mom, and there's a number again, so you can get in contact with these people as well. Okay, so again, it's really important to get them registered so they can use all the facilities, and again, you can see all that type of information that's in there as well. So as I say, it really, really is key in there. Okay, so without further ado, let's load up, as I say, my mobile phone. So as we mentioned before, the training is this evening is on the Manager app. So on the left-hand side, you can see the Manager and Club. So the darker blue is a Manager app. So again, this is what we're going to talk about this evening. But the one in club, the one in lighter blue, which is a club app, this is what everybody in your club, including those on the Manager app, need as well. Now, okay, so let's go into the Manager app. Okay, so what you will see there at the top, you will see Match Center. Now, underneath it says, for instance, all men's first, men's seconds. Now, when you get given admin rights, if you get given admin rights, say for the under 14s, it will say at the top, under 14s or whatever rights you've got to be able to see the people. Couple of reasons why, as I say, you need that is there's no need for the under 14s coach to see the second team or the under 10s. Again, there's no need for them to see that. If you are playing the sport, we suggest, as I say, that where they can play up an age group and things like that, we probably suggest you get admin access for, say, the 13s and 14s. So again, if you need to pull anybody up from the 13s to play for the under 14s, you can see that type of information as well. So that's where it's well. Now, because I'm a super user, I've got access to all the teams and things like that as well. So as you can see there, you can see all the up and coming games for your teams that you've got access to. And again, we're going to go into them in a moment. But okay. So again, what we can do, mention, which I just quickly mentioned as well, you can add fixtures in here as well. So where it says match centre and a plus sign, I can hit the plus sign, for instance. I can choose which team it's for. So again, I can pick my team, for instance. Again, as I say, this is a Pitchero Cricket Club because this is our training site. I can pick the team, for instance, that I want to put in there. I can put the date. I can put the start time. And again, I can put, is it a friendly, is it a cup, is it a festival? Again, you can put all those in there again. Hopefully, though, as I say, your teams and things will have been connected to the leagues, so all your fixtures and things will pull through there automatically for you as well. But if you do have friendlies or you do have cups and things like that that are not connected, this is how you can do it in your role as well. You can go into here and do that type of information as well. Okay. So we've got everybody registered, everything's fine. We're thinking, right, what do we need to do now? We need to get them training. Superb. So we're going to say, for instance, for argument's sake, every Wednesday at the club is training. Okay. So the old-fashioned way is, we tell people, we'll send out a WhatsApp message for whatever reason we want to do. We let people know it trains at 6:30 on a Wednesday. Now, what you can do with the club app, you can set up training sessions. And you can also see who's going to attend those training sessions. So at the bottom, as you can see, when it says match centre, if I click training here, it brings up all the up and coming training sessions for your age group that you've got admin rights for. Okay. So if we look at the top, if I just show the top there, you can see the plus button. What you can do, as I say, you can either go into these or you can set up a training session. So again, I can go into here, I could call it what I want to call it. So I could go into here, for instance, and I can say this is going to be training, and I'm just going to put here, it's the under 11s. Okay, so I can save and continue. Oops, there we go, doesn't like that. Again, so save and continue. I can put the location in, so I can put, it's down at the club. I can put what teams is this going to be for. Again, we mentioned before, this is the under 11s, so I can put the under 11s in. I can put a start date in, so I can say, well, we did say, didn't we? This is going to be every Wednesday, for instance. So if I go through to, I'm just trying to work it out, it's the 5th Wednesday, I think it is. As I say, don't quote me on that, but as I say, if we say the 5th Wednesday, again, start time 8 till 6. Does it repeat? So we can say so it repeats every week. So again, we can put it every week in there, or we can put it what we want to do. As I say, so again, we can put every session, or I can put on a date, for instance. So description here, I can say, oops, it helps if I can type. Normally when people are watching, you can never type. I don't know if anybody else gets that. Training at the club. And I can put here, bring trainers and a warm top for what I want to do. So I can then click done. Okay, so we've got there trainings at the club. It's for the under 11s. It shows who's organising it. For instance, that's me. If I now click done, it's now adding the sessions. So again, I can add the sessions and I can go in and do all that for you again. So again, we can go in and do it all again. So we can go back in, edit it, and do all that type of information as well. Okay, so again, that makes life easier for setting them up. Okay, but what we can do as well, so every Monday, a push notification is sent through to the club app, to the parents and to players, saying, can you set your availability for training and for games? Now, if they're really, really organised, they can do it up to 6 weeks in advance. We don't let them do it any further than 6 weeks in advance, because what will happen is people will put yes, they're available, and something will change and they'll forget to amend it. So again, it's not helping you as coaches and things like that. But here we can see all the different things. We can see the training for the under 11s and things like that. We can see all that. Or I can just start to scroll through, and again, I can see all the training sessions. So I can see there, Friday, there's ball work at the gym, and it's between 7 and 8. If I click that session, bear in mind it is a training site, so it's going to be heavily outweighed. But I can see there, one person has already said they're available to come training. One person said they're unavailable to come training, and again, 48 people haven't. What I can do, when it says player availability, if I press the arrow, I can send a prompt out to all those people again to say, you've not sent your availability for training. Could you please set your availability for us? So again, they can send it through and they can come back and let you know they're available to train. So again, it helps you either get another coach in or be able to sort out the training. The benefits of doing this on the Manager app as well. Now, you can now use this as a register. So again, you can see all the people that are in that squad. So as the training, as they're doing all the things on the paddock, what you can turn around to do into the Manager app, and I can go, yeah, Joe attended just by sliding it across. James attended. Dan had attended. Joe attended again. Danny attended. So again, you can use this. So this is great. You may have a current COVID outbreak in the current climate. So again, you can see who's been training. So you can say, these are the people that were all in close contact. You might have a best trainer at the end of the season. Again, you'll be able to pull off a list. So again, you can pull off the list in here. Your webmasters and things like that can do that for you, but they can pull a list of all your training sessions off onto a CSV or an Excel spreadsheet, and you can see who attended, who was the best attended, and who didn't attend as many as he should have done. So again, it really helps you being able to manage your teams and things like that within the system. Okay, so again, you can set up the training sessions, you can go into them, you can put all your different notes on again, but as I just mentioned again, then you can go back into it again, for instance, and again, it tells us all the different information that we need to know as well. Okay, and again, we can go in, I can edit the session at any point I want just by going into the 3 dots at the top. So again, it's constantly in control for you, and you're able to, as I say, amend it as you go as well. Okay, so, okay, back into the match centre, into the front screen. So we've done training, raring to go. We now need to have a look and say who's available to play in the games. So if I go second from right, it says availability. This tells me for the games who's available and who's not available. Exactly like training, you see who's there, who you've got coming. What I can do, for instance, for Sunday's game, for instance, no one said they're okay, I've not got enough players. Again, I can go into it, I can press prompt, they get another notification to say, can you let us know if you're available to play? They can say, yes, I'm available to play. And again, you know you can do it. So it may be you're 15 players this Sunday, but you've only got 25, so you've got 25 the week after. So again, you can chop and change. You know, it's like, you know, obviously coaching and managing juniors, it all depends, you know, they've got to play this week because they can't play next week. So again, it gives you a bit of an overview as well. Before I go into the game, one thing that I do want to show you as well within the Manager app, what we talked about at the beginning about registration, getting people registered and get them to put all their details onto the system. If at the bottom of the screen, you can see it says members. If I click members there at the bottom, it gives you a list of all your teams and things that you've got the access for. So what you can do, for instance, everything's going fine. There's an accident, like I said, and you need to find out details of that person. So I can go into members. I can click the team that I'm doing, so it's a men's first team. I can search for the player. So I'm going to use myself as a guinea pig. There we go. So I click myself. So it gives me a bit of an overview. So there's my number. There's send a message. It gives you a bit of an overview of the teams you play for. Again, I've made up some fictitious kids. So Jeannie's my fictitious child within here. So again, you can see all this type of things. But as I say, if you wanted to know the details on the medical conditions and things like that, if I click details there on the right-hand side, it now brings up everything that you need to know regarding. So again, my name, my date of birth, all that type of stuff, all my contact details, my address, membership information, doctor's information. So again, you can find all that information. So long gone running into the clubhouse to find the old A4 folder where everybody filled out the manual bits of paper and the one you want's never there, or it's not filled in, or you can't read the writing, or right, who's got access to GMS, FA full time and things to try and find the information, trying to get a login, you find out the login's down. Again, this is at the touch of a button on your manager app. So again, it makes life really easy for you as well. So again, you can get all that information. Again, so we can keep going through this. Again, for those that are eagle-eyed, just another quick one as well about getting people to join your website. At the bottom, it says invite new members. So say, for instance, you've got a new member turn up for whatever reason and you want to join your club and you said to them, right, you need to join the website and things like this. What you can do, if you take their email address or you take their mobile phone number for whatever reason, if I click invite new members, again, it brings up that, this says obviously join the Pitchero Cricket Club. Yours would say who you want to join. Looks at all the people you've been chatting to recently, so you can send that link out via those. You can send it out via message, via mail, Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp, whatever you're on. What happens is it sends them that link out. They click on the link, forces them to download the club app, and then they can then register for your club as well. So again, it's just another way if somebody turns up on the side of the pitch saying, here you go, give us your phone number, I'll send you a link, and they can then go in and they can join your team as well. Okay, so we've had them training, everything's looking good, they're all registered, they're all raring to go. Training's just finished with a game at the weekend. So what we need to do now, we now need to look about how we do things on a game-to-game basis. Okay, so I've set a game up Sunday the 2nd, and we're going to play against an England select team. So again, what we do now, we go into the England select team and it brings up the match day center. So this is where it all works for match games. Now, at the top, you can see obviously all the details that you need to know. Underneath, I can click match information. So again, I can see all the bits and pieces on there, all the information. So I can see we're at home, Pitchero Cricket Club, and we're going to play in England select. It's got the date and the time. It tells me it's a cup game. I can add a location, so your webmasters and things can set a location. So when, as I say, on the club app, the parents or the players are looking at it, it tells them. So it may be a cricket or a hockey sport that you're in. You play on different pitches. Sometimes hockey play on school pitches and their own pitches. It all depends. So you can put down a location as well for you as well. So you can see that. I can add a meet time if I wanted to do, which goes straight through to the club app to let them know. I can put some instructions on. So I might say, yeah, we're playing at the school, for instance, on Sunday. Can we use a left-hand car park at the side of the building, please? So again, it might be something as trivial as that about telling them which car park to go, or take the second left, don't take the first left, take the second left. You'll find it easy to find the ground. So it can be something as easy as that, again, just to make sure they've got that information. And again, if you ever needed to, you can delete that fixture at the bottom. So again, it's just helping you all the time put that type of information within the system as well. Availability, again, just gives you another overview. So I can click availability, and again, I can see who said they're available. I can filter down by certain teams and things if I wanted to, depending on what access you've got. But again, that would be, if it said they're available, it would be a green tick. As I say, this is a training site, so it's heavily outweighed. But again, you'd be able to see all that type of information. Okay, so everything's fine. I now need to go in and I now need to pick my team. So if I now click team selection, it brings up this, this page for me. Now, if you're lucky enough to have the same team as last week, and you've used this before, you can click clone selection. And again, you can then go through, as I say, and it will bring them all into here for you. But because we're not, like every club, people are unavailable, people are away, people's got injured, things like that, we need to go into it. So the benefits of doing this, if I go in where it says choose a player and click it, I can then start to see who's available. So I can see there, Neil, for instance, is available. So I can now start picking teams. I've just picked Will, who's with us today. Will, you're opening the batting for us. Hope you're okay with that. Okay, so again, you can see, but as I'm going back in now, what you can see, it says selected for the men's first team. So the benefits of doing this, once you've picked your team, you can then, as I say, before you publish your team, your second team manager can go in, or the under 14s Reds can go in and pick it. So the under 14 Blues have just picked the team. The under 14 Reds now need to go in and pick their team. But the beauty of doing this is you don't have to be in the same place. You can all be at different places. The first team, as I say, or the under 14s A coach can pick all his side, leave it like that before he publishes it. The under 14s Blues then go back in, and again, they can start to pick, but they can see who's already been selected for that team. Okay, so let me just go through and just pick a team. Again, all will be revealed, the reason why I'm picking a team. I've got to pick Mark, our director. Again, I'll pick Dan, and I think I'll pick myself. Obviously, I've got to pick myself, haven't I? Okay, let's just pick a couple more. Go through it. Okay, one more. Here we go. Maisie can play. So again, I've now picked the team. Okay, so again, I can now leave that team, for instance, until it's ready to be prompted, and the second team coach or the Blues or Reds coach can now go in. You drop somebody from your team, so you don't want to send out selection to everybody in the squad. You just want to send it out to those players. So if I clicked prompt players and click send, all 11 of those players now get a push notification to say, you've been selected in the team to play against the England Select on Sunday. Can you just confirm you're okay to play? So again, it's a two-pronged approach you're going with them. So they've already said yes, they're okay to play, but now they've got the push notification to say they've been selected. It asks them in the club app, which will show you. It asks them in the club app, can you just confirm that he's still okay to play? Once they say yes, that will then turn to a green thumb to say, yep, everything's fine. There's no problem at all again. So they can see all that information again. Everything's fine. We've spoken to that player now. That said, as it's unfortunately, because of whatever reason, you've been dropped down to the second team or the Blues, Reds, Greens, whatever it may be. So now I want to send it out to everybody. If I click publish team selection, that now goes out, the team selection to all those other people, as I say, and they can all now see that team selection. It may be somebody drops out for whatever reason. So again, you can go back into that person and I can clear selection and go back into choose another player. There you go. I'll pick Jeff. Jeff now goes in and that updates the team selection for you as well. It may be I thought, oh, I've not put a captain down. So for instance, I'm going to do there, I'm going to put, there you go, Will, you're going to captain and you're going to keep wicket as well because you're a superstar. So again, you can do that. I can come back out and it now says there, Will is captain and wicket keeper. So all the other people get that. See, as I say, that Will is doing that role as well for you. So again, it's constantly helping you do all that sort of information as well. Okay, so again, you've picked your team, everything's really good to do. Okay, so we can come out of there. As I say, you can amend it. Now, what you can do as well, you can collect your match fees through this as well. So gone are the days of somebody walking around with a see-through plastic bag. I think we've all been there, haven't we? And again, they're all collecting the subs and somebody pays in 5p pieces because they think it's funny, or somebody said, I've only got £20 no, or somebody said, I've got no money whatsoever. Then you see them later on at the bar, you think, well, how have you not managed to pay your match fees? Now, that has all changed now. So what you can do as a club, you can set up match fees within your club, within your system. Again, that's another course we can do, another training session, but it has to be a webmaster. I'm guessing most clubs are, let's just say, if you're a starter, it's £10. If you're a student, it's £7, and if you're a junior, it's £5, for whatever reason. So those are the types of levels for match fees or unemployed, whatever you have. Those are the types of levels. So again, that's all set up in the system. We can show it, as I say, at a later date. But you've just got out of your car, for instance, you're walking into the changing rooms, and you think, right, I'm going to send out the match fee request now. So what you can do here, let me have a look, my phone's just locked, so I'll just unlock that. So what you can do now here, I can now go into match fees. If I hit match fees now, it brings me up this page and it says add players or use team selection. I want to use team selection because I've had no cryos, I've had no dropouts, everything's fine. So if I click use team selection, it transfers that team across to the match fees. Now at the bottom, you can see it says payment request. You're going to ask for £110. But when I was talking previously about the different sort of levels of match fees, I can say, for instance, now, if I click Maisie, for instance, is a student. So I can just click Maisie and that now changes to £8. I could look at Jeff, and Jeff's one of our super duper juniors that are coming through, and I can change it to £6. So you might have to change a couple on the day to just different things that they are. What I can now do once I know that's all okay, if I click send, what now happens, 11 beeps happen in that changing rooms. Everyone's now got a push notification to say, your match fees are now due against the England select team. Could you please go in and pay your match fees? I'll show you in the club app later, but what they do is they go into the club app, they can put their card details in, or they can pay on Apple Pay, they can put the thumbprint on, and it's paid. It's as quick, it's as easy as that. So again, there's no more messing around with doing things like that. Or again, if it's a child and a parent-child account, it goes straight through to the parent to say, can you please pay your match fees, you know, for little Johnny, little Sally now. Benefits of using this as well, automatically in 72 hours time, if it's not been paid, it sends a reminder out to say, you've not paid your match fees, can you please pay your match fees for this game, for so-and-so, or for yourself, okay. It may be as well, as Neil was leaving, Neil said to me, oh, Dan, I've left my phone at home today, but here's £10 cash. No problem at all. I can click into Neil and I can just go there, pay cash, confirm. And that now tells me it's paid cash. So when the treasurer goes to do the reporting to see who's paid and who hasn't paid, again, it's all in there. So his reports are all right as well. What I want, I can put everything, just go back into Neil. I can add a note. So I can say paid has left the club at 6:24. Again, so you've constantly got a paper trail of when people are paying for all that type of reasons as well. Jeff's come up to me and said, oh, I'm not a junior anymore. I'm 16 now, so I'm a student or whatever reason. Not a problem. I can click on Jeff again, put him to a student, updates the assignment. And as I say, you can see now it's amended. So again, it's just a great way of constantly being able to collect the match fees. No more, as I say, chasing round, and people have always got excuses. We all know those people in this club, they get away without paying, they'll get away without paying. Okay, so again, this is just a great way to do your match fees. You remember at the beginning, we talked about being able to publish match events and things like that through to social media. Again, this is all done here. So if I click here on scores and events, it brings up this page. So it gives me the different, obviously it gives me the teams, for instance. I can update the score. So again, I can go into update score, match event. So again, if it's been a sending off, I can go into this. This is not connected to our social media because it's a training site. They can go into that. They can add the event to say, they can go in, for instance, comes up like this. As I say, this isn't working properly because it's a cricket. You can't do match events and things like that, unfortunately, on a cricket club. You can only do it on hockey, football, rugby, etc. like that. Unfortunately, you can't do it on a cricket one, but that's something we are looking at doing. But as I say, you can go into there, you put the match event on, it'll say, do you want to connect it to social media or publish it through to social media? Yes, I do. And as you saw on the slides, it goes straight through to social media again, so you can then put it all through. So again, you can keep everybody happy who's not at the game as well. We have got Pitchero Play on there again, so if you wanted to video the game, and as I say, you can put a bookmark in when he's been in an event and things like that, you can do that. It is a little bit unstable. We are working on that as well at the moment. The reason it all comes down to the memory and things you've got within your phone. Now, according to our developers, there's over 1,250 Android phones on the market. And as you're probably aware, there's at least half that don't have much memory in them. So again, just be careful what type of phone you've got if you're going to use Pitchero Play. But it is in there if you want to record games and things like that as well for you. Okay, so the last thing I want to talk about in the Manager app is the Announce feature. Now, there is a messaging facility from Club App to Club App. There's also one in the Manager app, but it's only a one-way system, and that's why it's called Announce. The reason it's a one-way system, it's meant to be informative. So if, for instance, a game was cancelled and I sent it out to, say, 50 people to say, game cancelled, frozen pitch or waterlogged pitch, I would get back, if you could reply to that, I would get back 40 people saying, okay, thanks, cheers, no problem. And if you're anything like me, you'd absolutely drive you mad because your phone wouldn't stop beeping. And I'd be like, why are people replying to me? So again, this is why it's informative and a one-way system out there. Sorry, just taking a drink again. So again, this is where you can send it out again. So you can send the messages out, but they can't reply to. Okay. So that is the manager app. Again, going through all that, going through all the different things that you've got on there as well. What I want to do as well quickly is just go into the club app, because I want to show you some bits in the club app that parents and people will ask you. So I thought if I can show you guys as well what happens in there, that make life a little bit easier for you as well. Okay, so I'll come out of there. So again, into the club app like this. So again, this is a lighter blue. This is what everybody, including yourselves, needs as well on there. Acts exactly just like a mini website. So again, you can see at the top the overview of the matches, news, things like that. Shows you all the up and coming games. So there you go, the England select game there, for instance. Now, as a parent or as a player, what they can do, they can click on that. But we talked about all the information that they can put in there. So again, we can see there the match details. We can put the location in. Now, if you've got Apple CarPlay as well within your car, if you do this on your app and go into view location, it will take the map straight through to your sat nav as well on Apple CarPlay. So again, that's another nice little feature. So you don't have to pop it into the sat nav. That's another nice little feature that's on there as well. Now, for those of you that are eagle-eyed, can you see at the top it says confirm your selection? So I can confirm my selection in here, which I won't do, but you confirm a selection in there if you want. So again, when you're confirming the selection that you've seen it, you're okay to play. As I say, it goes back into the manager app, and then you get a green thumb to say, yes, they're okay to play, no problem. Just scrolling down again, because we published a team to everybody, we can see all that type of information and the teams there, and we can see there Will is the captain. Again, so we can see all that information in there as well. That helps. So, as we talked about training, first of all, we'll go into that. So as I mentioned before, on a Monday evening, a push notification goes out from the club to say, can you set your availability for yourself or for little Johnny? Second from the left, I call it the old flip chart you used to get at school. I don't know if you're still doing those, or I'm showing my age now. But if you click on that, that says number 18. This is where they set their availability. So at the top, you will see Dan, and obviously you'll see my fictitious child. So here you can see I've already said I'm okay and things like that. I'm okay and said that I'm playing. As you scroll down, you can see the game on Sunday, obviously against England Select. I never set my availability, but I will now. But it's also said I'm playing, so it says respond to selection. So if I click respond to selection, I can just put, yes, I'm playing. It now tells me I'm playing. Then in real time, it goes straight back into the manager app as well. Again, if this is for your child, for instance, it'd be in there, but obviously I can go into Gina, and again, I can set Gina's availability and things like that in there as well. So again, they will be saying to you, will parents and will players will as well, senior players, how do I set availability? It's dead easy. You can go into here, they can set the availability, and it goes straight back through again for you. Again, if they want to do, they can click on it, and it tells you about obviously all the training session that's there. Tells you who it's for, where's the location, who's organised it with, and again, you can do all that type of information as well in there. Another little bonus I'll tell you, which is really good to tell your parents and players. Top right, you'll see a calendar with a plus icon. If there's anybody out there like me that solely relies on the calendar on the phone, again, so that when the wife puts things in and me, so we don't clash, and we have to use this, as I say, so we don't clash with anything. What you can do, if I click the plus button there in the calendar, all the training sessions and fixtures that are in there will automatically go straight into my calendar on my phone. So again, it's a great way, so you don't have to type them out normally like you do. You can just put them all into the calendar as well like that. Just a nice other little feature as well that you can do. Okay. Going back to the home screen again, you'll see in the middle, it says match fees. So this is what happens is they get a push notification sent through, and basically they're saying that you need to obviously pay your match fees. So I can now go in, ignore Genius at the bottom. So I think a treasurer or whatever wouldn't be too happy with £299 outstanding. So just ignore that. But you can see there, it says your match fees. So I've got the push notification to say the match fees are due. If I click view, it now comes up with the team, who's requested here, and it says you're a starter. Now, I can pay by card. So I can put in debit card, credit card, or American Express. It'll say to you, do you want to save your card details for next time? So they can save the card details for next time. And again, every time they go in, they can just put pay by card. If they've got Apple Pay, they can just go in, press Apple Pay, put the thumbprint on there. And again, like you do at any sort of shop as well, just pays it for you straight away and goes straight back into the system to say everything's fine and everything's being paid as well. Okay. Probably going to ask the question, is any more coming? There is a good chance that Google Pay will come. I can't give you any times and dates. It's something as a business that we know we need to look at. Hopefully, we will be able to add Google Pay, even put my teeth back in. I couldn't give you any dates, but yes, it's something that we're definitely looking at as well within there. Okay, and again, just something quickly as well. Two more things. Messaging again. So again, if you want to set up groups to message parents as a manager or as a coach, yes, you can send them from the manager app, but they can't reply. If you wanted to message like all the parents, all the first team players, second team players, you can go into here, you can create a new group and you can connect with them and obviously speak to them. Please bear in mind, it's just like WhatsApp, so everybody can see your replies that you say. We have had people caught out when we've been talking about players and things and not realised the parents are in that group. Just be careful, as I say, it's just like WhatsApp as well. Last thing I'm going to show you, we talked about permissions at the beginning, saying you need team admin access and things like that. If you haven't got it, what you can do, you can speak to your webmaster, or what you can do, bottom right hand side, if I click the three lines, I can go into here and I can go into my account at the top. Coming underneath, again, it gives you all the information, but you see where it says roles? If you press roles here, for instance, you can see all the different roles that you've got, for instance, in here. So you see where it says team admin at the bottom. If I press that, and it goes to all the teams in your club. So if you're the under 12s, you just click apply to be an admin for the under 12s. That will go through to your webmasters within your club. They'll approve it. You'll get the admin access that you need. Then again, you can go straight into the manager app, log in with a login that you use for this club app. But again, you've got the rights and things like that for you. So that, ladies and gents, as I say, is the manager app. Obviously, how beneficial it's going to be and how it's going to make your life so much easier as well. Being through the club app again, just to touch on some things that I say a lot of people will ask you as well. So I'm just going to have a drink, rest my voice for 30 seconds. If you've got any questions, please pop your questions into Q&A now. I don't know, Will's been answering them. I can see Will's been answering them as we go along. And as I say, we will ask them now. But any questions you've got, pop it in there. There's no such thing as a daft question, because I appreciate everybody will be at different IT levels as well. So even though you think it's a daft question, it probably won't be. Other people are thinking that. Please pop it in the Q&A section now. Okay, so I'm back in. Will, how's it been going with the questions?
Yeah, not bad. We've got through a few. We've not had all that many in, so I think I'd take that as a good sign. So
Yeah,
you've done a fairly comprehensive job on it.
excellent, thank you. Yeah, as I say, they're either very, very shy or, as I say, they've done a good job.
Yeah, that's fine. We've got 3 that have come in. So we'll start off with Aneka's, which is how do I add in the addresses for away fixtures?
So that needs to be done by your webmaster. So again, they can go into the dashboard into here, and they can put all their locations in. So again, left-hand side here, into settings. You've got me thinking now as well, because it's a long time since I've added that. I think it's into club information. And again, yes, there you go, club information. As you can see there, And as I say, you can put all your different things in. So you can see we've set up one, set up a secondary one, and so on. So again, you can go into there and add all your locations in there. Hopefully that helps.
Lovely. We've got one in from Chris, which asks about results for his league, and he asks, should I put them in GMS or Pitchero?
Good question, Chris. So at the moment, there's no direct integration with GMS for the hockey, something we are going through. So still report your fixtures as you normally would do on your results through GMS. And as I say, once you've connected, it will automatically pull through for you as well. So yeah, do it with GMS.
Lovely. Got another one here that's saying, how can I see player attendance at a glance, i.e., has a player not attended training for 4 weeks? We'd like to easily see without trawling through.
Okay, so left-hand side again, you need a webmaster to be able to do this for you. But if you go, for instance, here into Teams on the left-hand side, you go into Track and Trace. And what you can then do, let me just close that screen down there. What you can then do, go into Track and Trace, and again, you can click a new export. It asks you what dates you want it for, what teams you want it for, and you can export that onto a CSV or an Excel spreadsheet. You will have to ask a webmaster, or you do need webmaster permissions to be able to do that. But I'm sure, as I say, if you haven't got them, that person would do that for you because it's easy to do. They can export it. Then, as I say, they can just send you that via email or print it out, whichever's easiest for you.
Lovely. We've got one here that's, how do you add a child into a team if they are not registered for that team?
Again, straightforward. You could go into it. You can either go into through your club app and do it. So again, what you can do, give me a moment. Let me just share my app again for you. Let me just come out of that question. So we don't want that. You go into the manager app, for instance, here. You can go into members, for instance, here. And at the top, you can add a plus button. And again, you can put the child's first name, surname in. And again, obviously, they've adhered to all the terms and conditions and click done. That will then go into that team as well. If you're adding a child as well, we strongly advise, as I say, they make sure, as I say, the parent links to that child as well. So again, for communications and safeguarding and safety as well. But if you do need to add a child in there for whatever reason, that's the way you can do that as well in there.
Lovely. We don't have any questions in currently, so if you want to just give it a minute, see if anyone else has got any more before we close it off.
Fantastic. Yeah, thank you much. As I say, like Will said, if you've got any questions last minute or so, to pop them in there now. Everybody that's attended this training session, everybody that's registered will be getting a copy of this as well. So if anybody wants to listen to my dulcet tones again, you're more than welcome to do. If you can't sleep at night, I'm sure if you pop this on, you'll be asleep in no time. So as I say, they will be able to send it out. So we think it's beneficial as well. You can then, as I say, send it out to anybody else in your club. Don't forget, as I say, you can get in touch with us at any point through support@pitchero.com. You can get in touch with your account manager as well if you've got one, or if you go on to pitchero.com, you can request a demo and things like that. We'd get in touch with you. We're more than happy to do training sessions for the club as well. If you want to show stuff as well, we're more than happy on there. Just while Will's typing, I see Abdi's just said, what other demos are coming up? There's nothing penciled in at the moment. The reason nothing penciled in at the moment, it's that sort of time of the year where the season's just started, people are just getting into full flow. We will probably start doing them again around October, November, saying October, as I say, it's Saturday, isn't it? So we'll probably start doing them again in probably about 2 or 3 weeks. What's coming up, don't know. I need to sit down, me and Will and our ops manager, Dan, need to sit down as well and have a look at what we're going to do. So again, we'll make sure we'll let you know. So obviously look out for the emails that come through. All previous webinars that we've done as well are on pitchero.com. So again, you can look at that. Or if you can't find them, if you contact support@pitchero.com, we can get those emailed out to you as well. That's not a problem.
Just on where to find the webinars as well, we also have recently started adding them to YouTube. So you'll be able to find them at youtube.com/Pitchero, and you'll be able to see a backlog of them there. Just slightly more accessible for some of you, I know. We've got one more question here, just to follow on from the previous one regarding the adding a child. It's essentially they just want to add a child to a one-off match, Dan. So if you could just quickly cover that.
So again, exactly as I say, if you just want to add that to a one-off, like we showed you just then on the manager app, you can do that. As I say, just put them in there. Then what you can do again, you can't remove them, but just ask the webmaster once they've been in for one game. If you want to remove them, they can remove them from the membership database again. But yeah, they can do that just for a one-off. That's not a problem at all.
I guess an additional note on that as well is if you were adding a child to a team for one game, you wouldn't necessarily have to add them to the team. What you could do is go into the team selection and then you could filter it to the team that they're currently in. So say it's the under-15s and you're going to take someone from under-13s, you'd filter it to the under-13s and you could select them through there if you needed to.
Super.
Right, there's one last one from Sandy. It says, is Pitchero just an app or can it be used on a desktop?
So you can do, yes, so as long as you've got, as I said, the rights and things like that, what you can do. So if I just get rid of that page now, you can see, as I say here, this is what's known as the admin dashboard. So what you can do, you can go in. So again, just to show you here what you can do, if you go into your website and you click login, okay, so you log into the website, what happens then, it will bring you up, as I say, your account. What you would need to do then is click on admin dashboard, click onto admin dashboard, and it would bring up this page, even though you've only got team admin rights. The things you can't access, you won't be able to click on and will be grayed out. But what you can do, for instance, now on the left-hand side, you can see here, it says teams. So I could go into the team. So if I was the under-11s admin, I could go into the under-11s. I'd be able to see all their information and things like that. I'd be able to go into training for the under-11s, like here. I'll be able to see the availability for the under-11s. Again, so yes, you can do it. As I say, if you wanted to go onto a PC or the old tower, as I say, you can still do that, go in that way. But as I say, that's the way. So logging through your website, go into here into your account, click admin dashboard, and as I say, it would take you straight in as well that way. Okay, so listen, I think that's done. Will, somebody's come back in, Will?
Yes, they have. It says, can I add news and photos for Pitchero Club through Pitchero Manager?
Not at the moment, no. And again, the sole reason for that, like I mentioned previously, because there's so many different phones out there, especially on Android, we can't give too much on the manager app. In an ideal world, we'd love to say, yeah, as you're taking photographs of the game, as you're watching, you'll be able to upload them and things like that. Because, as I say, some of the Android phones are not as powerful as the rest of the Apple ones and things like that. We'd have to be careful because if we do give too much access and things, it will crash. As I say, and that's the last thing you want, as I say, if you're doing that as well. Okay, so massive thank you for Will as well for joining me and helping me out this evening, answering the questions. Will, always appreciate it as always. Thank you again for everybody else that's joined and taken time out of their evening, as I say, to do it. Anelki's just come in. Webmasters, that's correct. Yeah, that needs to be done through a webmaster. That's correct indeed. So as I say, thank you for everybody that's joined, as I say, and giving up your time. If you need any questions, please don't hesitate to get in contact. But as I say, have a good rest of the evening. Will, thank you very much indeed. And no doubt we'll speak or we'll all hear from me again in the near future.
Cheers, guys, and thanks, Dan, for doing this.
Cheers, pal. Speak to you soon.
Bye-bye.